Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the N3 Game Gengo grammar series. In this video, you're going to learn how to use KESSHITE, KEKKYOKU, and KIRENAI in Japanese. We're going to go through a bunch of different example sentences from video games in order to help give you a really strong feel for how this piece of grammar is used. We'll break down exactly how all of these pieces of grammar are used, and then give some further examples to help give you a real complete picture for each piece of grammar. Starting off today with KESHITE NAI.
彼らは何度も一緒に一線を越えてきた大切な仲間です。でも、友とは違います。決して人の夢にすがったりはしない。自分の生きるわけは自らが定め、その夢を踏みにじるものがあれば、全身全霊をかけて立ち向かう。たとえそれがこの私でも。私にとって友とはそんな対等のものだと思っています。
KESHITE NAI is a piece of grammar used to express a very strong negation of something, like a very strong never. It places a large emphasis on the negative more than simply just stating a negative. For example, shinai, the negative form of suru, to do. You could make this far more stronger, as in like a never do with keshite shinai. I would never do that. In order to use this piece of grammar, simply have keshite come before the verb, noun, or adjective in the nai form, in order to express a very strong negation of whatever comes before it. Keshite nai means the exact same thing as zettai ni nai. So for example, keshite wasurenai and zettai ni wasurenai both mean I would never forget. Also, you may sometimes see the keshite used as simply keshite. So, like seen here in Berserk, keshite, hito no yume ni sugattari wa shinai. To never hang on to another's dream. So here, the action of hanging on to someone else's dream, like not living by your own dream, but kind of following someone else's, clinging to someone else's ideals and dream. This keshite is showing to never do such a thing. So you can see that it's strongly negating the action at the end of the sentence.
Babidi-sama, そいつは魔人ブーは決してあなたの忠実な部下になるようなやつではありません。
これは罪ではない。これ自体に罪はない。大事なお前自身だ。決して忘れるな。
心配ないよ。決して人は噛まないから。
だから分かってくれ。俺は決して悪くない。い
いから、あっち向け。
奴が狙うのは名だたる宝石ばかりだ。我が国も貴重な宝石を多数有している。決して17カ国目にならぬよう。
So just like seen here in Dragon Ball with Dabura saying to Babidi, 決してあなたの忠実な部下になるようなやつではありません。He will never become your loyal subordinate. So not just saying that he won't be loyal to you, but that he never will be. Here with keshite. Again seen here in Nier Replicant with saying to never forget that. Keshite wasureru na. Like here in JoJo, we can see that JoJo is assuring Dio that his dog will definitely not bite. Keshite kamanai. So this keshite here is assuring with a strong certainty that the dog would not bite. We can also see here in Sakura Wars that this guy here is trying to assure that he's definitely not bad. Ore wa keshite waruku nai. And then finally here seen in Buddy Mission Bond, in order to never become the 17th country to have your gems stolen. So here, keshite naranai, to without a doubt to never become. So it's pretty simple how this piece of grammar is used. You simply have keshite and then followed by the nai form to show that you would never do that action, that it would never be a certain way, or that it never is something.
この村、私の故郷に似てる。見つからないように、怯えて、隠れて、息を潜めて。 でも結局は滅ぼされた。
KEKKYOKU. KEKKYOKU is used to begin to express a conclusion to something, like in English how you might use after all, eventually, in the end, or at the end of the day. This piece of grammar is used before a statement to express the conclusion or end result of a situation. So, like for example, in the end, I couldn't do it. KEKKYOKU dekinakata. This can appear at the start of a statement, like seen here with KEKKYOKU dekinakata, but it can also come between two parts of a sentence, with the first part explaining some information about the situation and context, followed by KEKKYOKU, and then have the end result. So, like for example here in Tales of Arise, the character here is talking about all these events that happened, but ultimately they were destroyed. So we can see the first part explaining the situation, followed by KEKKYOKU in the end, or ultimately, or at the end of the day, and then the final result here is horobosareta. They were destroyed. So this is used to express that end result.
結局現れなかったな。
その気持ちをマイクにぶつけるんだが、結局そんなことをしても意味はないって気づくんだ。結局のとこ入居時費用を早く支払おうが遅れようが施設にはメリットしかねえってわけか。
So, like seen here in 13 Sentinels, KEKKYOKU 現れなかった. In the end, they didn't appear, showing that this character was perhaps waiting for them to appear, but after all the waiting, they never showed up. And like we see here in Cyberpunk 2077, eventually you realize that there's no point in doing that. KEKKYOKU そんなことをしても意味はないって気づくんだ. And then finally, like seen here in Yakuza 7, here seen with KEKKYOKU no toko. So this is just after all. So talking about the ultimate state here, toko is short for tokoro. So at the end of the day, after everything that we've just talked about, whether you pay the move-in fee early or late, this facility has nothing but merits about it. So we can see here that KEKKYOKU is used to express at the end of the day. It's to highlight the final state. If you would ever do a direct translation of the Linkin Park song In the End, it doesn't even matter, you could perhaps use this KEKKYOKU in that situation. For example, I've seen a translation online with someone saying, but in the end, だけど結局は it doesn't even matter. どうでもよくなるんだ.
君には世話になった。私たちと部族の記憶と感謝しきれない。
KIRENAI. So KIRENAI is used after a verb in the must stem to express being unable to completely do something, in the sense that it's too much to handle or too much to complete. So, like for example, kazoeru, to count. If you wanted to say that you are unable to finish counting something completely, you could say kazoe kirenai. So kazoemasu in the must stem, kazoe, and then kirenai, expressing that you're not able to finish counting. Perhaps because it's such a large number that it would be an unfeasible task, or simply that it's just too much to count. Kirenai expresses a negation of being able to complete that task. It's too much to do. You're unable to completely do that thing. So, like for example here in Beyond Two Souls, the character here is expressing that they could not possibly thank the person enough. So here, kansha suru is to express being grateful for something, that you're thankful for something. But here, kansha kirenai means that you're unable to completely express your gratitude. So kind of like the English expression, I can't thank you enough.
この手で数えきれないほどの人を切った。
お渡ししておきます。僕らにはまだ扱いきれないものですから。
何をってんだよ、骨！折れんじゃないよ、骨！折れてる炭治郎じゃ俺を守りきれないぜ！死んじまうぞ！
あなたの帰りを待ちきれなかったの。
すまない。止めきれなかった。私たちが止める！
So, like seen here with, I've slain an uncountable amount of people with these hands. Kazoe kirenai hodo no hito o kitta. Or here an example from Final Fantasy 13-2, that we can't yet control or handle this yet. Mada atsukai kirenai mono. It's a thing that we can't completely handle yet. Or like here in Demon Slayer, ore o mamori kirenai. So mamoru is to protect, but mamori kirenai is like you're not able to completely protect me, as in this feeling of safely protect me. We see it here in Policenauts with I wasn't able to wait for you to come back, machi kirenakata. And finally here in World of Final Fantasy with I was unable to stop it, tome kirenakata. So we can see in all of these uses that kirenai is used after the must stem to express being unable to do that verb, like it's too much to finish doing that action. And there you have it, episode 11 of the N3 Game Gengo Grammar series. I hope you guys found that useful. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, a huge shout out to all of the supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, for all of your support. And if you want to come join us on the Game Gengo Discord, then consider joining us on Patreon. As always, thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. See ya.